Uh, it's a lot of work for just 5 minutes of talk because I think Vipke will be the one who will be really presenting you the results. But let me introduce myself, Vinit Parida, working as a professor at Entrepreneurship Innovation Research Group at LTU. And we have been working on a project which is organization of industrial products development for global market. And this has been an issue that we have been working on for a while. And what we'll be listening to as a presentation after me is some of the results and also some of the thoughts we have towards issues that we think we have started to understand them better, but there is much more that we need to do. For example, working with multiple actors and creating a business model around that and how to do that. So industrial product services is not something that we are new to. It is something that we have been working with within a center called FASTE Excellence Center. I don't know if you're aware of this center, but it has been existing since 2006. So these are questions we started to ask quite early into around this. How do you sell mobility instead of selling a car? How do you sell availability of equipment rather than selling the product? And it was a long journey we have already taken with our companies that have cooperated under this umbrella. But I think there are much more issues that needs to be tackled, of course. About this specific project, a short background would be that this was a Vinnova-funded project. This is more or less the last workshop we are doing around it. What we tried to focus on in this was the trend that, of course, most of the large companies, even SMEs, are trying to offer a portfolio of product services. And what they're also trying to do is find more complex combinations that are more difficult to replicate, or they are more difficult to deliver to in large extent. And although the development part of it, of this offer, can be complex, the selling part of it is even more complex, especially if you add the dimension of selling it globally. For example, a Scandinavian company trying to sell something in India could mean totally different setting than trying to sell the same product, because that has certain standardization that you can still work with. But with services, it starts to be more experience-oriented, more relation-oriented. You may not have the delivery organization in place to be able to offer this. And these were issues that we started to focus on in this project. So business model, customization, because service part really adds that thing to it. Every customer needs becomes unique. How do you manage those issues? So these were issues that we tried to focus on. We have been lucky to have a large group of companies that we were able to work with. Some of them are here participating today. I can maybe point fingers a little bit. We have Johan Ericsson from Volvo CE here, Sofia and Johan from Ericsson, Stefan from Belarus Koshnaz. So these all are our actors that we have cooperated with. So please talk with them. They have been thinking about these issues and working with them hands-on for a long time. So I think they would have some opinions to share with you. We also have industrial network like Automation Region working with us closely, and we try to use their network to also disseminate our results to a broader audience and to reach a higher impact from what Vinnova expects us to do, not just to work with our project partners, and of course others as well. It's always nice to talk a little bit about the output, what we have done over these last 3 years. Well, we are academics and we love to write papers, and that's what we did. We wrote 5 conference papers and 8 journal papers in quite high impact journals, many of them in some of the core journals around this topic. We have also been writing practitioner papers. So if you would like to have access to some of this information, we are happy to provide you. I have brought up one of the paper here that probably is kind of covering quite a bit of our issues that we have talked about in a more lighter format. So please feel free to take a copy. And if you would like to talk about it, we are happy to do so. If we go more towards empirical part that we have worked with, or the company part, well, we have, of course, been doing many interviews within our companies. These interviews are not concentrated on companies, but also, let's say, their delivery organization. It could be even customers in certain cases, and trying to understand how does it happen? How do you really manage risks, for example? How do you manage that the customer may not be ready to receive product services or pay for it? How do you make those transitions? We also did a mapping of both Finnish and Swedish industries when it comes to different type of product services they are offering. And we kind of focused on different methods that could be worked with. Some of the methods we have worked closely with our companies and tried to develop around it. For example, working with Volvo Construction Equipment's delivery strategy for future when they move into more selling services, which they are doing already now quite a bit. And of course, holding events like these that we are doing today. So this is not, of course, possible without a large team, and this is the group we have in Luleå. Many professors, but also PhD candidates. We have David Rönnberg-Sjödin here, who's co-project leader with me, and of course Vipke, who's been doing excellent work on this topic. So I think I'll stop here and let Vipke present some of the key findings from our project. Thank you.